This is it, guys. The final NFL prediction video of this season. And who knows what next year will bring. Maybe I'll get tired of YouTube and this could be the final prediction video ever. I heard we can. I'm still going to be making videos. Anyway, I figured I'd bust out the old JC jersey one last time. This Super Bowl, and before we get into the Super Bowl, just one last final thing about Deflategate, and I just want it to just frankly disappear because the fact that it still just keeps looming on and on. When Bill Belichick had his surprise little press conference, and you know, he's talking about the pressure and the atmosphere and stuff, and he's like holding no accountability on his team or anyone on the New England Patriots staff to be ones that tampered with these balls, and saying how the NFL needs to owe him an apology if their findings show, you know, nothing towards negligence on New England's end. I think that is a big pile of bullshit. What do you mean the league owes you an apology? See, no matter what happens as to whether or not they can point the finger to the guy that took the ball into the bathroom, or the equipment manager that did this, or Tom Brady had a little thing in his hand, he went to the balls, and I don't even care if nothing is concluded from it. The fact of the matter is this: the balls were given to the New England Patriots, they were tested before they were given to them, and they had the correct pressure. The Indianapolis Colts balls were tested before they were given to them, and they came back at halftime with the correct pressure. The balls that were tested at halftime for the New England Patriots, -1, did not have the correct pressure. They were 2 pounds lighter. So it doesn't matter. The balls were in New England's possession, and then they got tampered with. Whether it was sabotage, whatever, it doesn't matter. The onus falls on the Patriots for that. So for Belichick to say like the league owes him an apology, no. Why don't you possibly even float the notion out there saying like, you know what, I'm disappointed in my equipment manager for not monitoring the balls or creating a situation where balls couldn't be tampered with, because obviously they were tampered with. Anyways, enough of that, because there's a goddamn game coming up on Sunday. Ooh, yeah, Super Bowl time, and I gotta admit, this Super Bowl and just the hype and there's so much else other than the Super Bowl this year. It's kind of like when Ray Lewis and the deer antler spray, that didn't bubble up to anything as big as Deflategate did. But there's just so much stuff that's just really, it just sucked the life, and it's cheapened this Super Bowl already, before the game even started. Now, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, the New England Patriots are the best team in the AFC, and they got to the Super Bowl because they are the best team in the AFC. I don't care how many footballs they deflated along the way, they are the best team, and they deserve to be in the Super Bowl. No one can convince me of any different. But here's the thing. New England is kind of at a point here where they've already lost. If New England wins this game, there are still people that are going to cheapen their victory by saying, well, they cheated to get where they're at. They've cheated before, they cheated again. Oh man, the cheaters did it again. Nah, I don't count them. Nah. You're going to have so many people who are going to be like that. Now me, am I going to be like that? No. Like I said, this is the best team in the AFC, and they're at the Super Bowl because they deserve to be there. I'm not going to put an asterisk on this if they win. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of people are. A lot of people are. And that really cheapens the Super Bowl. Knowing that if I sit there on Sunday and I watch the Patriots win, I'm going to be like, oh boy, I can't wait to hear how many people come out of the woodwork and slant this away from the Patriots, have an actual skill, and say like, oh well, they got there and then the Seahawks had a bad day and blah blah blah. Because that's the thing. There's so many ways that New England can lose this game by winning. Like, they could win either a close game and be like, well, how did they cheat to get out a close victory? Because if they cheated once, they've cheated again. What else? What other rule did they break? Or if Seattle has a bad day, it's just like, yeah, they won, but it's only because the other team didn't show up. Like, you never really hear that card pulled all that much, but if it happens here, it's like, oh, yeah, well, Seattle didn't want to play against the cheaters, so I guess they laid down early. Anyways, there's so many things. That's what I hate, going into the Super Bowl knowing that I'm going to hear this shit, because I'm so tied up into football, so interested to hear what people say, listen to sports talk radio way more than I care to admit. And I know I'm going to hear people, I'm going to see people on the internet, and it really just, it pisses me off. It pisses me off. And again, I'm far from a Patriots fan. I hope they lose. I'm rooting against them to lose. But the fact of the matter is they deserve to be where they're at, and they deserve a moment of glory if they win. And the fact that the Patriots, and frankly, 99% of that team that had nothing to do, not even wanting to cheat or anything like that at any state and time since they've been on that team, and to the fans that just want to see, the diehard fans, are as much of diehard as me or anyone else rooting for another team out there, that just want to see their team win, it's going to be dampened. Anyway. But who's saying they're going to win? Who's saying that this is going to be a gimme win? The Seattle Seahawks, number 1, are the returning champs. Number 2, are good enough to beat this Patriots team. Damn good enough to beat this Patriots team. Number 3, have been underestimated many times, by me included. And we've all had shit thrown in our face by this team because they just win. They are a complete team. As for meeting on a neutral ground in Arizona, you got to think that, it is a neutral field. It's not playing in Seattle, but they're playing on rival turf. Do you think Seattle would be motivated a little more? I think they think they would. I mean, if the Eagles played a Super Bowl in Dallas, there'd be so much more motivation to play. I'm sure the same's with Seattle. Maybe not to the same level, because obviously the Philly-Eagle rivalry is a bit bigger than the Seahawks-Cardinals rivalry. But man, to go into your rival's house and raise the Lombardi Trophy up, I think that would add a little bit more momentum to a team's psyche and just, get them in that game day mode a little bit better. And frankly, it's nice to see that these two teams didn't face each other this year. And you get a fresh matchup. And on a side note, I just wanted to point this out. The Kansas City Chiefs beat both New England and the Seahawks. They beat both Super Bowl teams. And Kansas City lost to the Titans and at the time, the winless Raiders. So the team that lost to the Titans and the Raiders beat the Seahawks and the Patriots, beat the shit out of the Patriots on Monday Night Football, nonetheless. But anyway, I just want to throw that in. That's Andy Reid for you. Have fun with him in Kansas City. Okay, anyway. This game, I'm excited as a fan of football. All that shit, I mean, again, the game's tainted because of all the just rigmarole that went down with this Deflate shit, and just knowing that one team is going to be ripped out of their glory if they end up winning in the Patriots. This is a dream matchup. I know going into last year, the number 1 offense versus the number 1 defense. It's the immortal Peyton Manning, who is immortal. I think I said mortal. Mortal in the playoffs. Peyton Manning versus the new up-and-coming young defensive studs on the Seattle Seahawks, and Russell Wilson, a guy who's, first real run through the playoffs. I'm going to be straight up truthful with you. I changed my mind on who I feel is going to win this game 4 times in the last 4 days. I convinced myself, but then I finally settled on something that made me decide on who I firmly believe is going to win this game. And the more I heard, the press day stuff, and by the way, on a side note, I love what Marshawn Lynch is doing with that shit. What he said yesterday spoke volumes of why he's doing what he's doing. And I'm glad he at least said that much rather than repeating the same 3 words again and again. Where he's not going to answer your questions. He's more than established that the press can ask him whatever he wants. And he said, the only reason why you guys are here is because, you're mad that I won't answer your questions. And the fact that you've come here proves that. And like one of the reporters goes, oh, no, Marshawn, I'm not mad at you. And he goes, really? Why are you here? I'm not going to answer any question you have to ask. So why are you here? Exactly. They're mad. And he's right. And he kept getting fines for not giving these press conferences because you're supposed to for whatever rhyme or reason. I guess it sells tickets. I don't know. Whatever. Someone's figured it out in a boardroom somewhere. Well, Marshawn Lynch has been skipping a number of these interviews that he's supposed to do leading up to the Super Bowl here, to the point that Roger Goodell had the fines escalated to an amount of $500,000 if he didn't give that press conference starting on Wednesday and then gave another one on Thursday. $500,000 they were going to fine Marshawn Lynch. Do you know how much the Patriots were fined for Spygate? $500,000. The commissioner of the league, who, might I add, where's he for questioning? Where's Roger Goodell for all the questioning about, the Ray Rice thing? Adrian Peterson, you may have some questions about that. Like, is he going to be allowed back in the league willingly? Oh, what's that? You don't have to speak? We've only seen him speak 2 times in the last 8 months? Oh, but the players have to speak. The players have to speak. When the integrity of the league's in question, oh no, the commissioner doesn't even need to speak. But we gotta talk to the running back of one of the teams because he's gonna have something very prolific for us to hear. Anyway, I find it ridiculous that Roger Goodell, you can't find him for a word to say about anything when something really critical is needed to be said of him or asked of him. Anyway, ridiculous, but I love what Marshawn Lynch is doing. But anyways, going back to, before I got into the Marshawn Lynch, that sounded dirty. Anyway, before the Marshawn Lynch thing, the whole listening to the press day and the talking with the players and stuff like that, I really started putting it together in my mind of like, who has more to prove in this game? And that's kind of what I started basing my decision on. And the more I look at this game, and I asked myself, the Patriots need to win this game a hell of a lot more than the Seahawks do. And the one possible way that Tom Brady could just shut up the far majority of the critics, there's going to be people that criticize him no matter what and call the Patriots cheaters, is if the Patriots go out there and they just put a just absolute shoot-up fest on the Seahawks and just blow them up the way that the Seahawks blew up the Broncos, but more. And I'm like, that is going to be the ultimate motivation in this game, is that they have to win and win convincingly to shut up as many critics as possible. Because they're the cheaters going into this game. And a lot of people are going to be rooting against them because they're the evil cheaters. So there's a lot more on the line for the Patriots. It's their legacy. It's Tom Brady's legacy to a lot of people. Some people, like myself, the legacy is a little tainted because I feel he did have an integral part of the Deflate Gate issue. But at the end of the day, he's still one of the best quarterbacks ever. And that's the thing. Tom Brady, if he goes out there and does something like 400 yards, 5 touchdowns, and does it against the current Super Bowl champs, the #1 defense in the league, and he blows them up, what are the critics going to have to say? Here's what I have to say. Tom Brady is going to try to force himself to win this game. On his arm, on his decisions, and you know what? This is the wrong goddamn team to try and play that cute shit with. Because that secondary, oh my god. Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, Sherman. try and throw for 400 yards. Try and throw for 5 touchdowns. That's the wrong goddamn team to do it to. And that's the thing. I think it's honestly in Tom Brady's head that he has to win that game. And he's got to look good doing it. Because it's his legacy on the line. It's his team's legacy on the line. Because if he comes up small and looks weak, people are going to be like, oh, he can't play too good without deflated footballs all of a sudden. Even if he wins close. You know, it's something like, 17-14. You know, who cares? Quarterbacks win close Super Bowl games. Happens all the time. In this instance, it's going to be like, he barely won now that he didn't have those deflated footballs. But if he goes out there and puts up, like I said, just the absolute shoot-up fest, where are the critics going to be? The problem is where's Earl Thomas? Where's Sherman? Where's Chancellor going to be? They don't have stud receivers on New England. They got good role players. They're completely outmatched by the corners and defensive ends. Oh, Jesus Christ. Defensive ends ain't that fast. The corners and safeties will eat them alive. Which leaves the center of the field open. Gronkowski. He is going to be the deciding factor in this game. And I think he will be the deciding factor in this game. That is the one passing threat that they can take chances with. When Tom Brady throws up something risky to Gronk, needs them to extend on the play, pull in a difficult pass, Gronk's there for it. The chemistry between those two is just breathtaking, remarkable, whatever you want to say, whatever cliche you want to throw out there. But Tom Brady's going to have to do more than just throw to Gronk to win this game. They're going to rely on Blunt running the ball? Possibly. Can New England stop the running game of Marshawn Lynch? I doubt it. I think they're going to rely on Marshawn, and that's the thing. Seattle kind of has to rely on Marshawn Lynch getting the running game going. So I think they're going to be heavily schemed to shut down Marshawn Lynch. You shut down Marshawn Lynch, you shut down their ability to drive down the field and score consistently. Russell Wilson and the receiving core and tight ends are good for a few touchdowns. But enough to win a Super Bowl, if they don't get Marshawn Lynch going, they don't stand a chance of winning this game. But the Super Bowls are weird. The Super Bowls are always weird. And blowouts aren't necessarily, and I was saying this to people too, like, a lot of people are saying, like, oh, look at some of the games Joe Montana won back in his day when, you didn't see 40-plus points. Still, in Super Bowls, you see scores get blown up. Super Bowls are just quirky like that. It's like once a team realizes they're down and out of it, they lay down and die. There's nothing really left to play for. And the other team plays with the ultimate momentum. Once you get ahead in a game like the Super Bowl, you're playing with that much more adrenaline because we got command. Oh my God, we're driving away. And very rarely do you see a team come back from 14 points or more to win a Super Bowl. You just saw it 2 times in the past 2 weeks, or 3 weeks now with the bye week. In Green Bay dropping a 17-point lead, and the Ravens dropping a 14-point lead over the Patriots. In the Super Bowl, you very rarely see, I think it's happened maybe twice, that a double-digit lead has been overcome. Someone may correct me on that. It might even have been just once. Anyway, who's going to win this game? Tell you who's going to win this game. The better team is going to win this game. The better team on offense. I'm rooting against this team, and I'm rooting for the Seahawks. But I honestly think the Patriots are going to win this game because they are just flat out better. And another one of the reasons why I think the Patriots are going to win this game is you used up all your miracle juice 2 weeks ago against Green Bay, Seattle. I don't see you being able to play head-to-head, especially with Tom Brady motivated to play that much better now. Because if there is any time that his play is going to be scrutinized, it is this game right here. There's no game here. Anyway. I just think the motivation is going to be a lot more on New England's side because, hey, they're being called cheaters by everyone. Well, let's see how they play when they have every single microscope of scrutiny on them. That really pulls the issue of pride to the table. And Seattle can rest on their laurels in knowing that, hey, we won our title legit. No one's ever going to call us the illegitimate champs. But they can also make history. And again, even though I think the New England Patriots are going to win this game, I won't be surprised for a second if Seattle wins this game. Not for 1 second. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, how did they pull this out? I never saw this coming. Like I said yesterday, I was convinced Seattle was going to win this game. Absolutely. I was going to shoot the video, and I thought about it some more, and I was like, let me think over it for a night. And once I got to thinking about how, it took such a miracle to beat the Packers at home in the NFC Championship, I'm like, I don't see them beating a team like the Patriots. But I'll tell you what, if they do, they're going to move up the ranks for one of the greatest teams of all time because they would have had beaten Peyton and Tom in back-to-back years. The two best quarterbacks of this era and quite possibly all time in a lot of people's minds. Joe Montana's still on top of my list, but anyway. And repeating in a free agency era, you think Joe Montana would have won 4 Super Bowls in a free agency era? I personally don't think so. I'll tell you what, it'd be a lot more impressive if we saw a back-to-back team here again, because the only team that's ever done it in the free agency era is the Patriots. And now Seattle can be the only other team to do that. I just want to see a good football game. But at the end of the day, another thing that I want to see, and frankly, I think one of the things, this is the ending, this is the Schadenfreude deserved ending. Have Tom Brady throw to Edelman. It'll be like that 4th and 1 play that Dallas had in Green Bay where Romo throws to Des Bryant and bobbled the ball and it was ruled no catch upon review. I want to see that same exact play happen. Have the ball bounce out of Edelman's hands. Oh, no, still got it. And 1 yard out, gets ruled a catch, reviewed, still a catch. And then go in for the game-winning drive from 1 yard out. Patriots win the game by a point on a big controversial call. Just turning the entire thing into a complete catastrophe. Dallas fans up in a tizzy that, of course they roll in favor of the Patriots. Because, you know what? In a lot of ways, this has been one of the shittiest years for the NFL. Not necessarily on the field with field of play. And one of the main reasons why Marshawn Lynch acts the way he does is because he's lashing out against the NFL, like the crotch grabbing and stuff. It's not to say, F you to the other team, suck my dick. He's saying F you to Roger Goodell, get down on your knees and suck my dick. That's what he's saying. He doesn't like the fact that he can't express himself, that defenses can't play the same, that rules are even trying to be changed to hold back the Seattle team that were made last offseason. This team still made it to the Super Bowl. From the Ray Rice thing, from the Adrian Peterson thing, to Deflate, to just everything that has just made the NFL look just completely foolish. and just taking us for granted, saying like, we'll just forget about the Deflategate thing in a few days. We'll just forget about the Ray Rice video. He probably didn't really hit his wife in that elevator. And if the tape comes out, people will forget about it. It's almost as if this deserves to have a catastrophic ending where, you know, Goodell comes out, hands the Lombardi trophy to Bob Kraft, and probably gives him a kiss on the lips because they're best buds, and Tom Brady, and they raise up the Lombardi trophy together to a chorus of boos. In many ways, that is a deserving end for this season. But at the end of the day, I just want to see a good goddamn football game. Is that too much to ask? Well, we got one more football video left. Well, I'll probably make something after the draft or whatever, barring what the Eagles do. But one more football video left for as far as what happened this season. That's my Super Bowl review. I'll probably do that Monday. Hopefully I don't have to bring out a paper bag like I did last year. By the way, watch that review. That's one of my favorite videos of all time, by the way. The worst Super Bowl ever video that I made last year. It's one of my personal favorite videos. Anyways, have a good day, everyone, and let's go see a good football game, guys. Come on, let's go. I don't know where we're going. I guess downstairs. I got nachos. You want nachos? Too bad. They're all for me and New Dog. Have a good day, everyone.